Good day, friends. It is me, HLModTech, and today we're going to talk about trains, even though if you're looking in the back, that's a church. So let's get cracking. All right, friends, so just a little backstory. This is for an N-scale train set. If you've never seen an N-scale train set, let me show you one really quick. These are just images, but you can see how tiny they are. N-scale is usually 1/160th or 1/148th, but you can see their tracks are always 9mm. So this is a building that's going to fit on one of these awesome little train sets. So back to the Tinkercad church, the user asked, how do I add bricks or textures after? Because they've got a sweet resin printer and they can do these fine details. So here is the system I came up with. First, I'm going to put the work plane out here on this edge, and I'm going to bring out the cube. And we're going to use this as a brick. If I hold down shift, I can squeeze it down and make it super small. And then I'm going to bring it down to this corner. I'm going to use the arrow keys to nudge it over. And then let's fit view to get close. This is way too thick, so I'm going to make it 0.5. I find it easiest to type this number. And then I'm also going to round it by putting a number 2 out here. And I think that's a decent brick, but I want it to be a little more rectangular. So I have just made my own custom style brick, and I'm going to quickly make my snap grid 0.1 so I can be more accurate. I'm going to grab these two, and I want to make sure I align it with the bottom of the real building. I won't go to the edge because that would actually move to this piece. When I get where I want, this is what's going to be super cool. I'm going to do Control D. I'm going to use the arrow key to nudge it over until I've got my little grout area. I'll zoom in so you can see that a little better. And because I'm not touching anything else, if I do Control D again and again, it memorizes that movement all the way across the building. This one's hanging over just a little bit, so I can bring it back with the little black handle. Notice if you use the white handles, it changes 2 directions at once. I've just decided these are a little taller than I want, so I'm going to hide the building. Now I can easily grab all of these. I'm going to zoom way in, and now I can use this black handle to make them a little smaller. When I hit the light bulb, I can bring everything back. Friends, this is one of my favorites. We're going to grab that whole row. We're going to hold down shift and get rid of the building. So now notice that we're only grabbing down here. And when I do Control D, I'm going to nudge the new one up. Make sure I leave room for that grout. And then, friends, all we got to do is flip. And we have just got 2 rows of our building. I'm going to do Control D, hold down shift, get rid of the building. I've got something over here, so I'm going to do this again. Making sure that I've just got these. Hold down shift, get rid of the building. Now it's the right height. Control D, nudge it up, and boom, get that grout the way I want. And we have just, by using Control D again and again, and not clicking anywhere, covered our building with bricks. That's how slick it can be. I'm going to set the work plane back down on the ground. If we had went past, I would just trim some bricks off, but this is the way you can add a custom texture to a building when you're all done creating the main shape. Now, I don't have a resin printer, so I didn't get to test this, but Chris did. I think his message told me that he had to connect these to the shape. So if I had to make sure I connected it, I would just do this. I'm going to grab them all, and I'm going to just use this black handle, and I'm going to pull it in a little bit. Now when I hit show, I'm sure that those are actually part of the group. And then when you're all done, group this entire piece so that you're sending one thing to your 3D printer. Do understand that whenever you're doing these groups of large projects, that really does stress your system. So make sure you're paying attention to that. Understand that while it's doing this, you need to be patient as the system makes that group into one final project. And make sure you don't group a lot of things in other groups, because that's what makes it so complex, and eventually Tinkercad will crash. Friends, one last super cool thing in here. Notice this is a note. You can add notes with this little button. It's so easy to add a note to somebody. They hide. You can hide them all if they're bugging you during work. You can bring them back. This is a fantastic way to use the collaboration to your advantage while you're designing. All right, friends, so this is a brick house also created by Chris. Once again, he used this sweet share technique to let me see it. And the best part of this little brick house is that it's already been printed. Check out how sweet that turned out with his resin printer. That is just amazing for such a small project. Another cool thing about Chris taking time to share this with me is I can actually try it on one of my FDM printers and see what kind of details we can get with that as well. Friends, I'm going to show you one more thing. If we click on his shape and we change it to transparent, look at how the little bricks actually interact with the whole project. One thing Chris did note was he forgot to cut out the top here. That is an important thing when you're trying to save resin or printing time. Make sure you hollow out that roof. Alrighty, friends, the last thing I want to say is thank you, Chris, so much for sending me the notes, working with me, and letting me help you solve this problem. Friends, if you're ever looking to find me, I am HLModTech on Facebook, Instagram, and Gmail. You can also find me at HLTinkercad on Twitter. And, of course, friends, you can visit HLModTech.com, and you can use the messaging service to reach out as well. Friends, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. If you got a question, comment, or suggestion, add it down below. If you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Smash that subscribe button, and last but not least, hit that notification bell if you want to be the first to know when there's a brand new video from me, HLModTech. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.